All right. Friends of Frisbee, folks at home, we are here for the bronze final between AUT and the UC Honey Badgers. UC Honey Badgers playing out of the light strip, AUT in the dark. We've seen some fantastic ultimate from both of these teams throughout the tournament, making their way to the semifinals, suffering both suffering unfortunate losses. They will be very, very hungry to make the most of the tournament with a final win in the bronze final and walk away with medals around their necks. We are here at the University of Waikato, Te Whare Wānanga o Waikato in beautiful Kirikiriroa, Hamilton, on this sunny day for the Tertiary Ultimate Championship, supported by AUT TV, University and Tertiary Sport New Zealand, and of course Sky Sport Next. As always, my name is Blair Munro.
My name is Genevieve Farmer.
And we are your eyes and ears on the ground to provide context and commentary for this exciting matchup. Big pull to start the point off, the first point of the game. Lewis and Douglas to initiate the offense. And AUT, we are going to see a zone look from them. They are targeting the space rather than those individual matchups. Lewis, Rob, far. A low shot across the field. Rob gets it from Douglas. Far now, near sideline. Lewis to Douglas. Far manages to get a hand on it. Rob chipping his way through. Long shot just outside of the end zone. Lewis to Douglas. Some patient offense, just working their way around the AUT zone. Far in position, right on the doorstep. Douglas just needs one pass to close out the point. Instead, looks at Far on the far sideline, near sideline, sorry. Luke Robb closes to Tavish Dempster. Some great offense there, almost unimpeded by the AUT defense. Maybe a little bit slow to get into position, a little bit slow to come together as a unit. It almost seemed like the Canterbury Honey Badgers were working around the zone as having to work against it, which is really great work from them. Huge amount of patience. There were a few moments there where the Honey Badgers were in position on the end zone and maybe a lower percentage, riskier throw might have been very, very appealing, but it's that sense of calm, that patience. Canterbury Honey Badgers in a great position, having just come off a defeat against the incredibly potent AUUC Flood. And they've seen the kind of the influence that calm offense can have on dictating the momentum and the pace of a game. A long point, though. We are already 4 minutes into our game, the bronze final. We are looking at 90 minutes or a game to 15. The AUT offensive line. Daniel Shen, Elise Matthews, Esther Leong, Kate Charlesworth, Maddie Hayward, Kesh Chandran, and Josh Howe. And the defensive line for the Honey Badgers. It's Becky Farr with the disc. Tom Warden. Huge chase as the disc touches down on the near sideline. Howe looking to initiate. Charlesworth up the near sideline. Becky Farr applying a lot of aggressive pressure. Elise Matthews trying to find a safe option. Finds Charlesworth center field. Straight past Shen to Chandran. Quick bounce up the far sideline to Leong, who puts a low hammer. Great layout bid, but it's not going to be enough. A questionable option, giving the disc back to the UC Honey Badgers, hoping to put their second point on the board. A great bid by Matthews. Sophie Hankin for the Honey Badgers. Manages to work with Harrison Leach. Callum Turner, marked by Daniel Shen. Chandra applying pressure. Hankin gets it. Up to Hansen, near sideline. Marked by Esther Leong. Forehand through, comes off the hands of Callum Turner. That is going to be a turn and an opportunity now for AUT to put their first point on the board. Josh Howe with the big forehand. Over the hands of Kate Charlesworth. An early bid from Becky Farr, putting a little bit of pressure on. Kate Charlesworth calmly tries to go for it. Disc is a little bit high. Honey Badgers to come back the other way. We get to see that again. Howe with a great forehand. Just a slight misread on that one. Not able to take a second bite and second attempt at it. Warden with a great undercut. Pressuring Howe. And a pick was called. So just a reminder for those at home. As a non-contact sport, if the pursuit of a defender is interrupted by the line that the offending player takes, then by sort of avoiding contact, if a defender's pursuit is interrupted, then that constitutes a stoppage, and the defending player is allowed to catch up to where they would have been had that pick not occurred. But a second pick's being called. So these teams are quite tired. They're both very, very hungry. Some of the lines that they're picking on offense are going to be a little bit on the close side to other players. They might be unintentionally using other players as screens, which is not allowed in Ultimate, and so that is responsible for the pick calls that we're seeing here at the moment. So a little bit of communication. You may notice that you don't see any referees running up and down the field, other than the players themselves, Ultimate being a self-officiated sport. Players make the calls themselves and resolve them as best as able. Hansen, far sideline. Great upline there by Canterbury. Puts a big shot up. Callum Turner's chasing it. Not gonna be enough. AUT with a long field ahead of them. Shen and Chandran looking to initiate. Leach and Turner on handler defense, alongside Tom Warden, marking up against Josh Howe as AUT set up in a horizontal stack, trying to utilize the length of the field as much as possible. Kate Charlesworth takes a long run. Paige Hansen gets a tip. Esther Leong tries to close down. It's not going to happen. Great throw as it slowed down in the wind. Double coverage. Able to stop Charlesworth from securing that disc at around the halfway point. High release forehand finds Hansen on the near sideline. Marked by Esther Leong. Threads one through to Callum Turner. Leach working the far sideline now. He wants to wind up a hammer. Chandran getting busy on the mark. Slips straight through the outstretched hands of Louis for another turn. We're going back the other way. AUT need this point. They need to keep that focus that saw them perform incredibly well this morning. Elise Matthews going long. Miles of separation from Hankin. Manages to walk away with the disc. Threads one through the defense to Howe. Shen looking for a reset opportunity. Doesn't need it. Howe goes deep. Finds Elise Matthews just on the doorstep. Esther Leong there for support. Finds Chandran. Threads one through, and it fades back a little bit. Trying to rush things just a smidge. Giving up some of the precision that Chandran is otherwise known for. In a hurry to try and put that point away. Gives the disc back to the Honey Badgers. Charlesworth providing great coverage. Hankin now with a big forehand. Finds Hansen. Leong trying to pressure that option. The disc goes back to Leach. And there's far, or not far. Warden, marked by Howe. Callum Turner. Finds Leach center field. Sanders wide open, gets looked off in favor of something happening on the far sideline. Sanders again. Louis targeting the far sideline, marked out by, oh, and a pick's called. So Elise Matthews' pursuit of Sophie Hankin interrupted by the movement of other players. Feeling as though she would have had a play. Great coverage there by the defense, but it's not enough. Leach puts a laser beam up the far sideline to Warden. And a big laser beam follows through, finds Callum Turner. Shen's pressuring it, but Hansen again. Paige Hansen, I hope the scouts are watching. You have put on such a performance this entire tournament. Doing only the most work for your team. And it comes off as the Honey Badgers go up by 2 over AUT in the bronze final of the second day of the Tertiary Ultimate Championships New Zealand in Kirikiri or Hamilton. And we get to see that again. A nice laser through the middle of the field. Callum Turner. Paige Hansen getting that separation. Comfortable score. Now, Jen, how do you feel after the first 2 points of this game?
Well, I'm really seeing the patience that Canterbury have kind of accrued from their last game against Flood. That's really, I think, where the game didn't play out for them so well in the last game, but they're really showing from the start in this game how they can be patient, how they can take their time with those throws, and it's really working for them. You're seeing those scores that have been scored. They've really been working them up around the zone for a good couple of minutes before, which is exactly what we want to see.
So the pull going out of bounds means Rory Moore is going to take it from the brick mark, puts a long shot up early. Charlesworth trying to get a read on it.
Fades just out the sideline.
The kind of mistake that AUT cannot afford to make when they are 2 down on the most important match for them for the tournament. Great touch by Becca O'Leary.
Giving AUT a second shot at that point.
Fishman and Moore to initiate the offense. Charlesworth getting separation. Nice curve back in. Great work by Kate Charlesworth, putting one on the board for AUT. It is lunchtime, but nobody will be having bagels. 15 minutes into the game. A low-scoring game so far. Long points on display here. It just means both teams are playing amazing defense. But Kate Charlesworth, such an aggressive cutter. Very, very impressive to watch. Manages to get that clean separation. And we see, there it is. There's the block from Becca O'Leary that generated this opportunity here. We see Fishman on the far sideline. That chop step getting the separation, changing the angle to push it deep. Fishman's got the pocket of throws. Manages to put that one away. Great work there by the Floods, the AUT side.
Rory Moore back with a pull, just waiting for the Badgers to get off the field.
A little bit of miscommunication about what the gender matching majority is going to be for this point. Moore with a huge pull. It's going to touch down and roll. Manages to catch a knee off the Canterbury offense to stop that momentum. We're going to see that same arrowhead zone. Simkin, McFadden, Stoffels, Butlin at the front of that zone, trying to apply the pressure, forcing that movement to work around, but Laylee Bender comes through, stops Tavish Dempster getting it. Fishman early to Moore. Slips one through to Bender. Simkin with a great undercut, but it gets looked off. Stoffels Butlin not able to secure that one. Canterbury with the chance here. Bryn Douglas goes over the top. Jack Lewis, Martine Barnes, back to Lewis, all the way back around.
Some great handler movement from Canterbury. Just looking for those perfect shots down the line.
Rob gets it, puts one up to Dempster, just outside the zone. One to Bryn Douglas for the score. Honey Badgers go up by 2 again, 3-1 in favor of the University of Canterbury Honey Badgers. Some great handler movement there, a couple of little errors on both sides, but Canterbury able to close that point out reasonably effectively. That big forehand, Luke Robb, and an inside-out forehand, cross field. Finds Tavish Dempster. Big fake, Bryn Douglas cuts all the way through. No hesitation for a comfortable score. Widening up that gap. Just 2 points as we enter minute 20. Esther Leong, Quinn Cunningham, Josh Howe, forming the core of the offense. for the AUT side. Tom Warden with a pull, wants to put it low. Rolls out. It's going to have to be taken from the sideline. That might be exactly what the Canterbury Honey Badgers were looking for, an opportunity to maybe trap the AUT offense on the sideline. Using that sideline as an additional defender. Just force a turn early. Chandran's able to work back with Shen. Puts one high across. Finds Esther Leong, but it bobbles out of the hands. That's the turn that they needed. Canterbury with an opportunity. Tom Warden finds Hankin. Long shot up. Comfortable score. Theo McIntosh for the Honey Badgers. Up by 3. An explosive start from the Canterbury side. Just capitalizing on every little error that AUT happened to make. It's great to see them fire back after the previous game against Flood, where that Flood clinical offense was able to just chip away at the morale, chip away, working through the defense for a comfortable 15-7 finish in favor of Flood that took them through to the finals. And it's nice to see that they've internalized a little bit of that, and they're exhibiting the same kind of ultimate themselves against this very strong AUT side. McIntosh with a great score. Up by 3 now. And there it is, the famous Canterbury clap. We've seen so many times during this tournament. It's definitely a crowd favorite, if I'm the crowd. Great pull there. Sanders with the pull. But it's Cunningham, Howe, initiating that offense. Working through, finds Rebecca O'Leary to gain some yards. Charlesworth on the near sideline. Marked very, very aggressively. Threads one through to O'Leary, to Charlesworth. Back to Howe. Charlesworth again, right on the doorstep. Have they got the patience? Will they take their time?
Some great handler movement. They just need to take their time with this. Try not to force it. And there it is. Honey Badgers take the D.
Yeah, some great handle movement, but as you say, it's that need to not force it. Number 14 for the Honey Badgers, Harrison Leach, with a cheeky run-through block. We see that again. And there's Tom Warden, marked by Daniel Shen. Hankin, far sideline. Puts a massive forehand up for McIntosh.
Just need the continuation now. Can they do it? Beautiful layout grab.
Nice work by Sanders to keep the possession there. Finds Warden. Big one up for Sophie Hankin. She's got an absolute cannon. But Warden puts it through. McIntosh a second time.
Into that corner.
Just doing all the work right now.
And that looks like a timeout has been called.
Yeah, 5-1 in favor of the Honey Badgers. A timeout, no better time to do it than when all of the momentum is in favor of your opposition, what are you going to do to adjust it? But as Riley Van Turnhout always says, 5-1 is the most dangerous place to be in a game of Ultimate, and I wouldn't want to be the 5. And so it begs the question, what are AUT discussing in their timeout? Jen, have you got any thoughts?
Well, you can see that as you say, the momentum is on Honey Badgers right now. AUT maybe just haven't found their rhythm in this game, so I'm imagining they're probably wanting to have a little bit of a break, just to have a chat, really reset their minds and have a think about what they're going to do to change the game from this point onwards. They don't want that momentum that Honey Badgers have to keep going, so they're just wanting to stop that in its tracks and see how they can change the game up.
Could not agree more. Honey Badgers must be proud of themselves. They're working really, really hard. They've managed to crack this game wide open. AUT apparently making a few small but crucial errors in their previous game against the University of Otago Toroa. And maybe they have run out of juice moving into this bronze final match. But we will see what the resolution is of these two timeouts, these discussions, when we come back after this short break.
At Lincoln, we seek to ensure that future generations can grow and thrive. That means providing a world-class learning environment to grow fresh solutions to real-world problems, including using the world's resources wisely and sustainably. Come to Lincoln University, a place to grow.
And so AUT first to break the timeout, returning their 7 players to the line, but the Honey Badgers clearly no shortage of energy as we hear their roar in preparation to hopefully widen the gap for themselves, take them one step closer to walking home. Well, Canterbury, they'll be flying home from Hamilton with medals around their necks.
Looking forward to seeing what AUT are going to change this time, whether they're going to come out with a bit more energy or if they're going to change their tactics a little bit. Starting on defense.
From here, it seems like the main thing is a mindset shift. They know they're able to work the disc. They've got a really solid handler core who work together really well, who gel together. Clearly, they've been training together as much as possible.
Absolutely.
But it's once they hit those final few meters to close to the zone, it's that sense of rush, that sense of panic, which is really, really difficult to overcome when you are down by a wide margin like this, and you just need to finish the point so that you can start putting some more on the board. Fishman, Howe, Rory Moore trying to work around a great zone that we're seeing here. Howe on the far sideline. McIntosh on the mark. But he can't stop Fishman. Working with Rory Moore and Kate Charlesworth. Puts a short-range scuba over the top, trying to use the width of the field, trying to tire out the zone a little bit. Charlesworth to find Howe. Puts it over the top for Fishman. Wide swing. Rory Moore near sideline.
Looking to Rebecca or Kate Charlesworth for the continuation. Hammers it across the field.
Finds Josh Howe. This cup that we're seeing.
What a grab.
Great take by Fishman. But this cup that we are seeing from the Canterbury side, doing a huge amount of work. Scuba over the top to Charlesworth. Oh, big fake. Wide shot across, finding Josh Howe. Steph Franson open in the deep space. It's not going to be an option. The zone getting across close. Becca O'Leary for the score.
There it is.
It's about time we saw some upside down discs. A little bit more dynamic, a little bit more creative. We saw scoopers and hammers in there trying to work over the top of the aggressive and oppressive cup put down by the UC Honey Badgers. Some great pressure defense, but AUT, whatever conversation they had during that timeout was enough to allow them to overcome it. Very impressive work as they pull it back within 3. 5-2, still in favor of the Honey Badgers. The Canterbury side all on board, making sure everybody knows what the strategy is and how best the sideline are able to support their players.
AUT really showing that they can move that disc and they've got the handler skills. Let's just see if they can keep it up for a few more points.
Are we going to see them throw down a zone? We've seen an ice arrowhead from them quite a few times this tournament. It looks like
Honey Badgers have come out with a lot of energy at this point.
Lewis and Parkin just trying to work around. They put a hammer up of their own. Becky Farr, crossfield to Lewis. Seeing Simpkin, McFadden, Savage, sorry, McFadden and Nicholson in the arrowhead, trying to force the disc to move the width of the field. Raab with the disc to Parkin. Lewis calling for it, he's wide open. Quick direction change. Managing to break up line. Raab waves off the hammer. Dempster. Becky Farr. Parkin. Back to Becky Farr. Nicholson stops that continuation swing. Big wide shot.
Just looking for a gap to stick it in the zone.
Dempster wide open, calling for the disc. It doesn't come.
Unlucky.
But a foul's been called, and the foul is accepted. So the disc will return. It's Simpkin marking up on Lewis. So we'll get the opportunity to replay that. No hesitation. Quick break for the score as the Honey Badgers go up by 4 again. 6-2 to the Canterbury side. A little bit surprising to see AUT come out so flat. Some really big names on that AUT side. It's a lot of talent. But the Honey Badgers, they are firing. They are coming out. They are cohesive. They are gelling incredibly well as a team. And that might be making all the difference in this bronze final match.
Classic Frisbee doggo there on the screen. They do say the best doggos are the Frisbee doggos.
And despite our best attempts to display the best ultimate in the country here. It is forever going to be almost impossible for us to separate ourselves from the reputation that Frisbee sports and disc sports have with dogs. It's unfortunate, but in our eternal quest for legitimacy, there are always those comparisons from the layperson. Leach with a huge pull. It's going to roll. Howe and Chandran, a little bit of confusion as to who's going to stop that. And a travel called as Howe moves through. Finds Chandran. Cunningham. McIntosh able to shut down any option for continuing this moving in that direction. Cunningham to Chandra and Howe calling for the disc. He's wide open, near sideline. Some quick give and go with Kate Charlesworth, but Adam Chung is able to pull it down. Callum Turner to Hansen. To Louis, fakes off the hammer. Great finish there for the Honey Badgers. That might have been Theo McIntosh again. Some great work and a timeout called as the Honey Badgers go within one of taking half, a 5-point lead over AUT. We get to see that again. Great work, nice open space, huge separation from the defender. A comfortable score for the Honey Badgers. Leach to McIntosh. Beautiful point to take them one away from half. And a timeout has been called. This is a crucial moment for the Honey Badgers. They just need one more break. If they can generate a turn and put away a score, it's going to have a huge benefit to their morale moving into the second half. AUT first to break the huddle. Sending 7 players to the line. Picking the people they think are going to make the most difference on offense. We see some crowd favorites. Rory Moore, Becca O'Leary, Kate Charlesworth, Zev Fishman, Laylee Bender. Honey Badgers putting on a great display of ultimate in this game so far. As we're coming up around the 39-minute mark in a game to 90 minutes or to a point cap of 15. The bronze final, the second to last stream game of the tournament. Everything is on the line for these teams to be able to walk home, fly home, drive home with their heads held high. Hankin lets it rip. O'Leary early. Warden's not able to get a hand to it. Fishman working with Moore and O'Leary. Simpkin parked up in the deep space. Not really moving a lot in that deep space. All of the work's happening around these handlers. Moore to Fishman. And so it looks like we're seeing another zone look from the defense. Louis on the mark now. Warden's not able to get there before Moore. He had a great line, but the reach was too much. Charlesworth's got the disc. Working center field with Fishman. O'Leary opens up a swing for Moore, but a foul's called. So an accepted foul. Players taking it upon themselves to make those calls and resolve them as best as possible. The disc is live. Finds Becca O'Leary.
Moore and O'Leary working together very well again.
Fishman hoping to thread something through the zone. Moore baits the defense. Charlesworth comes down with it on the near sideline. Marked by Louis. Able to work back towards the center. Puts something big up, looking for Laylee Bender. Manages to find her right on the doorstep. Are they going to exhibit the patience needed to close this point out? This goes back to Fishman, a big scooper over the top. Charlesworth under pressure. Fishman sends a big forehand all the way to Simpkin. It's good! What a beautiful score there by AUT. Simpkin was sitting in that deep space the entirety of that point, just keeping the deep defenders in the zone busy. And that patience pays off. It must be nice to score a point without having to do too much running. Great work by AUT, a necessary point to stop the UC Honey Badgers from taking half so early in the game. But now the Honey Badgers have the advantage, coming out on offense. Coach Peter Boardman talking the AUT defensive side. Some last-minute adjustments that might be able to be made in order to stop the impending rush of the Honey Badgers. Bender with the disc for AUT. Lets it rip a little bit past halfway, pushing down near the far sideline.
Honey Badgers straight out with some fast movement.
Lewis goes over the top, but a pick's been called. Okay, so with the pick resolved, Lewis tries the same trick a second time. It doesn't come off. Douglas, it's low, but it's good. Great take by Bryn Douglas, cleaning up Besling's throw.
Becky for the score. Just what we like to see.
Beautiful work. Nice crossfield blade. Comes down for Becky Farr as the Honey Badgers take half. Some great offense there. Quick disc movement, as you said. The Honey Badgers must be proud of themselves. Up by 5. 1 half left to go in the game. The bronze final for the 2022 New Zealand Tertiary Ultimate Championships here in beautiful Kirikiriroa, supported by University and Tertiary Sport New Zealand, brought to you by the crew at Ulti TV in conjunction with Sky Sport Next. My name is Blair Monroe.
And my name is Genevieve Palmer.
And we will be back very shortly. And we are back for the second half of the exciting bronze final between AUT and the UC Honey Badgers in the Tertiary Ultimate Championships for New Zealand 2022. A super exciting first half. The Honey Badgers have come out firing, managing to put on an early 5-point lead in the first half. Normally we might take a little bit longer during that halftime break, but both of these teams are very clearly eager to be playing more ultimate, to leave everything behind and put everything on the line in the hopes of taking home a bronze medal. As always, my name is Blair Monroe.
My name is Genevieve Palmer.
And we are here to just talk you through and try and keep up with the fast-paced action. Only the very best ultimate being brought to you here today. Chandran, Shen, and Cunningham to initiate the offense for the AUT side. Just outside the outstretched hands of Tom Warden, number 8 for the Canterbury Honey Badgers in light kit. But a pick looks to have been called. Charlesworth with the disc. Marked by Hansen. Fishman gets it. Finds Charlesworth center field. Esther Leong. Chandran. To Charlesworth. Esther Leong. It's a little bit high. Is she going to be able to get the read? Yes, she is. A great score there. Great patience. Not enough pressure from the defense.
Don't know what was said during that half time, but AUT have come out firing in the second half.
Absolutely, whatever was said clearly worked as Esther Leon puts a point on the board. We are now 4 points for AUT, 8 points for the University of Canterbury Honey Badgers. Some great work here. We're going to get to see that again. Big pointing. Here's the space. The disc a little floaty. Despite the pressure from the Canterbury Honey Badgers, AUT able to close that out and put one on the board first out of half. Some absolutely phenomenal offense there. And now AUT with an opportunity to come out on defense. Seeing a few familiar names. Rory Moore, Stephanie Franson, Simpkin, Howe. Bender. There it is, the Canterbury clap to start off the next point. Honey Badgers on offense, hoping to put one on the board and keep that wide score open. Great long pull, it's going to touch down just inside the front corner of the end zone, but Douglas is able to quickly center it. AUT looking to stick to a match defense, trying to find those individual matchups and isolate them. Douglas beats Howe up line, sends a big one looking for Becky Farr. Dempster there as a possibility to clean up, but not needed.
It's just too far for Farr.
Looks like that one might have actually been run out the back of the end zone. I honestly thought she had it. Just a little fumble right at the last second. This is what AUT want. Moore and Howe going to set up the offense in a vertical stack. Laylee Bender, strong receiver, great cutter, marked by Martine Barnes at the back of the stack. It's a great opportunity there to try and draw the defense under and open up the deep space in the field. Manages to get separation from Barnes on a nice undercut, but unable to secure the disc. Number 15, marking number 15. Rory Moore matching up against Jack Lewis. Barnes bounces back. Lewis pushes to the far sideline with the park in. Moore is the one who runs it down. Position going back to AUT. A huge opportunity here for them again. Hopefully they're able to stay focused, keep those precise throws in place. Howe to Simpkin, marked by Parkin. Still works up that far sideline. Amanda McFadden. Moore and Howe. Bender cleanly in front of Barnes. Barnes catches up, puts the pressure on. Moore gets the disc. A low line drive to Simpkin. Works back, finds Howe. Franson takes the disc, far sideline. Works back with Howe. To Bender. Rory Moore. Great bid by McFadden, but it is not enough. Absolute heartbreak. Lot of float. The chase was good. Just a half second too late. A lot of movement in the upfield space. Becky Farr puts a laser beam up, looking for Dempster. He closes down. Parkin's got the disc, hoping to close one out. Straight through the hands of Far. AUT with an opportunity.
Some pretty tired-looking bodies out there. This is another long point.
Howe on the up line. McFadden's going long. Simpkins underneath it. But it's touchdown. Parkin gets the block. We get to see that again. Simpkin in good position, but Parkin's the one who comes out on top. Lewis again. Quick off the mark.
Called.
Far with the disc. Calls a timeout. Absolute veteran move. As you say, Jen, it's been a long, long point. And so taking that option to just catch your breath is probably a very, very smart move. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with you to see what the result of this timeout is on this exciting point in the Tertiary Ultimate Championships.
We believe where you live shouldn't decide your destiny, and that any place can be a place of learning. So much of modern life has a handy home delivery option. Why not your education? Maybe you'll start your degree in the same space you share with your whānau, or from that corner of the spare room that catches the most sun. Start your new what at the place where can be anywhere, online or on campus. Massey, New Zealand's leading online university. Apply now at massey.ac.nz.
Belief, the emotion that stirs your body into motion. One small drop contains the power of the oceans.
And we are back after the timeout. Canterbury Honey Badgers on offense. A veteran call. They've had a chance to collect themselves. Man McFadden on the mark. Lewis with the disc to find Douglas, marked by Howe. Bessling, centre field, marked by Franson. Gets the easy reset to Douglas. Dempster puts a big one up. There's a lot of air underneath it. Franson gets the touch. Hamilton favourite, Stephanie Franson. She did promise a layout D before the game. I wouldn't necessarily call that a layout D. It looked more like she went up for it and then fell over. But we'll count it. Some great work by AUT. Huge defensive pressure there to give them an opportunity to swing back the other way as we close out the first hour of the game. Simpkin gets it. Some nice cutting structure trying to create that space, but a pick's been called. Simpkin gets the reset to find Howe. Moore slips past Lewis. Gets Franson, marked by Bessling. Back to Howe, to Moore. Bender takes it midfield. Not a lot developing in the downfield space. McFadden with a great grab. Trying to work the line. Snatched down by Dempster. Barnes to Lewis. Okay, so it looked like a travel was called a couple of passes ago, and they're just now responding to what should have happened there. From our perspective, it looked like the travel was resolved correctly. So Savage, number 16 for the AUT team, made the call for the travel rather, made a point. The pivot was re-established correctly by Lewis, so that shouldn't necessarily be a stoppage. Dempster puts one up. It's fading hard left. Falls down out of bounds. Critical moment for AUT. Forcing some of those errors. Applying a lot of pressure. Josh Howe bringing the disc in. Franson with a huge deep cut. It's not going to go. Somehow Moore manages to get that despite huge pressure from Tavish Dempster. Oh, it's a big high disc. McFadden can come down with it anyway, but a pick's been called in the downfield space.
We're certainly seeing a lot of picks in this game. That's purely just a result of some tired bodies out there. People just not quite being able to get out of the way in time or make cuts that are quite as clean as they normally would be in an earlier game.
Yeah, as that fatigue sets in, that ability to remain aware of yourself and of others on the field does tend to suffer a little bit. It's one of the reasons why conditioning in Ultimate is so important. Howe with a long shot up just outside the hands of Savage. Not able to secure it. Canterbury with an opportunity to come back. Long field ahead. Douglas with the approach. Josh Howe on the mark. Nice backhand of the top to Dempster. Douglas, Dempster working together really, really well. Farr manages to get it this time. He sets to Lewis. Barnes comes down with it. Working the far sideline to Parkin. Back around, trying to get away around that defense. Great work, slipping the defense there. Besling calling for the disc, but it doesn't come. Barnes with a scruffy reset. Douglas wants to put one out into space for Besling, but it's just a little bit too high. Comes off the fingertips. We'll get to see that again. Just off the fingertips. Besling in huge open space. Just not as low as that just needed to be to get to her hands safely. Simpkin absolutely dusting Parkin, but his hard work unrewarded. The priority being finding more on the near sideline, working the defense. Big disc. Oh, a great layout bid by Bender, but it's not quite enough. Manages to get to hand to it. Great work trying to adjust to the shape of that disc as it fell. Far to pick up for Canterbury. To Lewis. Parkin. Back to Lewis, center field. There it is, but it's not enough. Great bid by Bender. But Barnes was able to run that one down and keep possession in the hands of Canterbury. Big fakes. There it is. Stephanie Franson.
She's going to give you one.
Oh, but it looks like there may have been contact on the play. Nevertheless, we're going to see that again. The layout block from Stephanie Franson. Maybe not as clean as it needed to be, but again, we'll count it. So those players are just going to have a discussion as to what the nature of that contact was and what the appropriate resolution will be. Bit of a lengthy discussion as we wait for these players to resolve the call. 67 minutes into the game. And it looks like Becky Farr has gotten involved in the conversation. Provide a bit of spirit support. So they're going to contest that call. They're not able to come to a decision, and so we'll return to the last uncontested play, which will be Barnes with the disc. Some good communication between those players. Unfortunately, they weren't able to come to a resolution, but that is the nature of the sport. Finds Lewis. And that'll make them think twice before they test Stephanie Franson again. Douglas and Lewis working center field. But Besling manages to come down with it anyway. Not the intended receiver, but it goes over the hands of Farr. Besling in a great position to clean that one up as it floats over the head of Becky Farr. Honey Badgers go up one more, bringing the score to 9-4 over the Auckland University of Technology University Ultimate Team, AUTU. Great work by both of these sides. A long point, hard fought. It comes out in the hands of the UC Honey Badgers this time, but who knows what's going to happen next.
Just a small amount of discussion from both teams this time. Both teams looking a bit more tired. We are almost at 70 minutes through the game now.
Honey Badgers defense. Sanders with the pull. Hansen. Some great defensive players on this Canterbury side. Fishman early with Howe. Cunningham gets O'Leary involved. We can see now that the Canterbury side coming down in a zone defense, trying to force the disc to the sidelines where they can maybe trap it. But Esther Leong manages to bounce one through for a great one-handed grab by Rebecca O'Leary. Fishman finds Howe. And a travel called. The argument from Tom Warden being that Josh Howe caught the disc and accelerated his next step. We'll get to see that again. I have to side with Tom Warden on that one. The rules being once you take possession of the disc, you are supposed to slow down as soon as possible or release the disc within the first 3 steps, 3 points of contact with the ground after catching the disc. You aren't allowed to accelerate into a stop. And that does appear to be what Josh Howe did. So a valid travel call. Play resumes. Zev Fishman takes the disc, puts one high over the top looking for Charles Worth. Adam Chung shuts that one down. Number 87, a defensive monster for the Canterbury Honey Badgers. Doing the most work. Leach to Hankin on the near sideline. Puts one through to Hansen. Quick bounce to Leach. It's a big shot up. Warden got it. Tom Warden. Tom Warden. Great point there for the Canterbury Honey Badgers. Putting another one on the board, taking us to double digits. The score 10-4 over AUT. Gradually approaching the closing moments of this game. Comes down with it over Becca O'Leary. Great big shot. Warden comes down with it. 2 hands. Great work there. Great offense. The Canterbury defense getting ready to bring the Thunder down despite the sunny day. Hankin with the disc. Chandran with the disc. Leong near sideline. Works one up, finds Charles Worth. Hayward's there. But the zone defense puts the pressure on too soon. Chandran, big swing out to Rory Moore on the far sideline. Quick bounce up line to Daniel Shen. Too much pressure from McIntosh. Not able to get there. But a couple of nice swings. Finds Esther Leong with the disc on the near sideline. A lot of open space in front. Chandran takes it. Pinned down, puts a scuba across, beautiful disc.
Oh, no.
Rory Moore's not able to secure it. The turn goes. Canterbury back the other way. A little bit much helix on that scuba maybe.
That seems to be how AUT play best though, when they're just channeling each other and really just keeping that flow going. Trusting their instincts instead of thinking too hard.
Chung with a big line drive.
Oh. And a layout for a score.
Theo McIntosh again.
Again.
I think that may be his 4th point of the game.
At least.
At least. An absolute madman. 10 out of 10, no notes. The score goes 11-4 Honey Badgers over AUT. Some great work. We're going to get to see that again. Looks like it really is going to be Theo McIntosh Sunday. Chung with the big line drive, and there it is. An absolute monster, a powerhouse on offense for the Canterbury Honey Badgers. Hansen, quick up line. Chung puts it up. There it is. With all the grace of a startled gazelle, Theo McIntosh puts the 11th point on the board for the Honey Badgers. "77 minutes into the game, 13 minutes before we hit soft cap. A race to 15 currently. If we hit that soft cap, things may change. We will update you of the situation if that occurs. Keep your ears out for a hooter at the 90-minute mark.
AUT are really going to have to delve down deep inside themselves now to find some energy to finish this game off.
Douglas with a huge high pull, huge amount of float. It's going to touch down, out of bounds. Howard gives the signal to Brick. AUT to come out on a horizontal stack. Trying to test the defense a little bit. They're keeping the field long, leaving a lot of space available for those handlers to do their work. Moore with a scuba over the top. Laylee Bender calling for the disc, hoping to use the width of the field. Great work. Not able to snap one off before Barnes gets there to apply the pressure, but Howe's open. Fishman instead threads one through. Charlesworth with the security. Hands like glue. Howe with the big hands up. Calling for the disc, using the width. Bender in position, doesn't get it. Threads through as the defense overcommits, finding Charlesworth. Right through to Fishman. As the defense closes down, Charlesworth manages to fumble it, take a nutmeg. The opportunity going back to Canterbury.
Another fumble there from Badgers this time. Back to AUT for a second shot at that point.
Who's going to pick it up? Looks like Josh Howe on the approach. Marked by Jack Lewis.
Wanting to make a comeback.
Doesn't get enough separation, but Franson does. Right on the doorstep. Just needs something aggressive, something to happen for them. Nearly gets a hand to it, but Howe secures it. Charlesworth. Ooh, there's definitely contact on that play. The question is, what's the resolution going to be? There's definitely a call. Looks like a foul called, but not a strip. So contact impacted her ability to make a play, but she's not.
Say that again, Blair.
Yep. So definitely contact on the play, but we're not making the argument that Charlesworth had control of the disc and had it stripped away. If that were a strip instead of a foul, then accepting the strip would be a point. Okay, and it appears that there was a change made there. So that was a strip call, not a foul call. And when the Honey Badgers accepted that, that constitutes a point. So had that contact not occurred, okay, Charlesworth would have had possession in the end zone, which would have constituted a score. So AUT bump it up to 5, only 6 points behind the impressive and unstoppable Honey Badgers, currently on 11 in this bronze final match of the New Zealand Tertiary Ultimate Championships 2022.
Belief. The emotion that stirs your body into motion. One small drop contains the power of the oceans. And yes, with all this chaos and commotion, you'd be forgiven for thinking, what's my personal motivation? The new normal's so abnormal that now normal's an abstraction. What happened to civilization? This world is a distraction. But still, belief will never fail to cause a chemical reaction, fizzing up your synapses with purpose and possibilities to put into practice. Yet those ones. And so you pause, breathe, and say, what do I want to do for me? The future me. The one who needs me to believe that I can make a difference unequivocally in whichever way I deem. Even if that's flipping me into we. You see, that really is living the dream.
And we are back just in time for the pull. AUT putting one up. Lewis and Douglas driving the offense here for the Canterbury Honey Badgers. Finds Rob. Douglas to Rob. Great work up the midfield. Douglas puts a big shot up. Caught on the back foot. The receiver didn't look like they were expecting the shot. Stumbled a little bit backwards, tipped off the fingertips. AUT need this. They want to bring it back. Howe with the approach, marked by Douglas. Supported in the handler space by Rory Moore and his mirror match, Jack Lewis. AUT coming out in a vertical stack. McFadden cutting from the back of the stack, gets looked off. Rory Moore hits Ben Simkin on the return. McFadden with the disc now. Rory Moore able to get away from Lewis. Ted Nicholson trying to threaten that deep space, but that's not where the attention of the offense is until now. Josh Howe on a high stall count, has to let one rip. Not well executed, high angle, lot of edge. It comes down, Rob tips it, brings it to the front of the end zone. Lewis sends it long, looking for Dempster, who manages to get it just on the doorstep. Puts one through for Besling. Besling's second score of the game, I believe, number 88, Adele Besling for the UC Honey Badgers, putting them up to 12 over the AUT's 5. We're just about to hit the 85-minute mark in our 90-minute game. But the Honey Badgers are hoping to close it out by point cap. They just need 3 more in order to win this game. AUT a little bit on the back foot. When the pressure's on, that's when we're starting to see some more mistakes out of this side. Huge throw. Dempster comfortably on the doorstep. Floats one across. Besling for a great score. And we're seeing the signal from AUT that it is a female matching majority on this point. Charlesworth, Matthews, O'Leary, Hayward. For the AUT side, matched with Cunningham, Shen, and Fishman. But it's Canterbury who start things off with a low pull. Not a lot of rolls, going to land just past halfway. A good opportunity here for AUT. Setting up in what looks like a horizontal stack. Charlesworth with great undercut early. Marked aggressively by Paige Hansen. Shen to O'Leary. Hayward on the near sideline. To Charlesworth. Works back to centre field. To Shen. Fishman. Works the far sideline. Cunningham. Up the line for Matthews for a great score. Great offense there from AUT. Super clean. Exactly what we've wanted to see this whole game as they bring it back within 6. Still a tough fight ahead of them, especially as we hit the closing minutes of this game. 3 minutes away from soft cap. But nevertheless, it's never a bad time to put a point on the board. Well done to AUT as they come down on defense against the University of Canterbury Ultimate Club Honey Badgers. Only 3 points away from winning the bronze final and taking home a medal. Great work by Shen there, working with Fishman. Cunningham puts one up for Matthews. Great point there. Absolute highlight material. Becca O'Leary with the disc to start us off for this crucial point in the bronze final match. Great pull, lot of float. Fielded by Parkin, working with Douglas, who puts up a big forehand. Rob's a bit late to react, but he's still going to get there.
Looks like no one knew if that was in or not.
But they're calling it a score. Honey Badgers go up to 13, 2 points away from a win and a medal. AUT a long game ahead of them. 7-point difference now as they have the opportunity to come out on offense. And we'll see some core players from that AUT side, the ones that we know and love from their performance this morning and their performance throughout this game. But we'll see whether or not it's going to be enough to keep them in it and have a chance of walking away with that delightful bronze medal. An amazing two-pass offense for the Canterbury side. One to recenter, and Douglas uncorking the cannon to find Raab in the end zone. There is our hooter. Now, that means that we need to conclude this point. The point is considered to have started immediately after the previous one ended, so this point has begun. This point will need to be played out. We will add 1 to the highest score at the end of this point, and then it is a straight race to that number. If the UC Honey Badgers are able to generate a break here, If they can get a turn and convert that into a score, we will be looking at a game to 15. If AUT are able to hold and take their score to 7, we'll add 1 to the Honey Badgers score, making a race to 14. Tom Warden with the disc for the pull for the Honey Badgers. Big rip. Well fielded by Josh Howe. Working with Chandran. A few cuts to the same place. Slows down the AUT offense. We're seeing a kind of relaxed zone look from the UC Honey Badgers. They're trying to pressure that space. But AUT have demonstrated that they're able to work the disc incredibly well back and forth across the front of a zone, although we're seeing the wind pick up quite substantially, and so that's going to make a difference to the level of precision required to get this to work. Finds Howe near sideline. Chandran and Howe now trying to work around the zone. Gets one through. Least Matthews goes to ground to keep that one alive. Back with Josh Howe. Over the top. Touched out. Harrison Leach is going to say not today.
Huge amount of pressure from the Honey Badgers there.
Absolutely, at a huge moment for both teams. Warden approaches the disc, marked by Simpkin. Some early cuts from Louis. A little bit mistimed. Threads one across. McIntosh, he's going for it again. Warden puts a big one up, looking for Callum Turner. And it's good. Nice cheeky little ballerina spin. But there is one more point needed for the Honey Badgers to walk away with a win. The game now 14, a race to 15. 9 points for AUT to walk away with a win, only 1 required for the Honey Badgers. Nothing but perfect play will allow the AUT side to walk away with a win. The Honey Badgers, almost all the room in the world for them to make mistakes. But if they've shown us one thing during this game, it's that they don't make mistakes unless the opposition forces them to. It's very kind of Theo McIntosh to let someone else score for a change, isn't it?
Definitely. It's not his end of the field though, is it?
But now they're going back the other way, so place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. What might be the last University of Canterbury clap for the tournament. Massive spin pull. So high, a lot of air. Who knows when it's going to touch down. It landed in bounds. Moore has to take it from where it lies.
What a pull to finish on if this is going to be the last point.
They're able to work through though. Cunningham manages to break free. Moore gets that little bit of separation. Able to work past Dempster. A laser beam through to Simpkin. Finds Shen. A little bit of a fast count, if you ask me. Rory Moore's able to get it off the hands of Simpkin. just outside the red zone. Number 14 for the Honey Badgers, Leach. Finds Adam Chung, pops one over the top. Leach in power position, decides not to send it. Simpkins not able to keep up. Chung over the top, back to Leach. Huge shot. Well outside the reach of the receiver. But the Honey Badgers in a great defensive position. The disc will come in right at the front of the end zone.
Looks like that layout may have caused an injury.
So an injury has been called. So Adele Besling will be taking the field, number 88. We've already seen what she's capable of on offense. So the ground has been touched. Players are free to move. Rory Moore with a big rip. Simpkins trying to get underneath it, but it looks like it's going to fade far left on the near sideline. And as it didn't come back in, it needs to be played from where it first crossed the line. The disc is going to come in for offense on the Honey Badgers right on the doorstep. This could be it. We are one, maybe two passes away from seeing this game finish out in favor of the Honey Badgers. It all depends on what kind of pressure AUT are able to put on in this crucial moment in our bronze medal match.
Huge opportunity here.
And there's the layout grab. Huge score there. Just want to get confirmation on the number. If Adam Chung would move a little bit. Looks like that was, to the surprise of nobody, Paige Hansen pulling in that last point for the UC Honey Badgers as they go 15-6 over the impressive AUT, who seem to have slowed down a little bit today. They definitely tested the Honey Badgers, but it is the Honey Badgers who came out on top. Super clinical, super clean. They never stopped firing. Fantastic work from both of these teams. Congratulations to the UC Honey Badgers. We will be back reasonably shortly with our final match between the AUUC Flood and Otago's Torua. But until then, Day 2 of the Tertiary Ultimate Championships New Zealand 2022 in sunny Kirikiriroa. My name is Blair Monroe.
My name is Genevieve Palmer.
Thank you for watching.
AUT.TV